Welcome everybody to a new review of a new release from Arrow Video, and it's called Road Cops and Racketeers, two crime thrillers directed by Enzo G. Castellari, hope I'm saying that right, who also did the really rather fantastic The Inglourious Basterds from 1978, and this is the set itself. So yeah, both films are in their own cases, both films have art cards, and there's also a really nice booklet as well with it. And there's a rear end as well. And yeah, both of these films also star Fabio Testi in the lead role. While both of the films are obviously crime thrillers, police films. I'm hoping again I'm saying that right, but the first film is definitely in that regard. And and the first of which is The Big Racket. Now this is from 1976. Also stars Vincent Gardenia, who was also in Death Wish and Death Wish 2, as well as Little Murders and Heaven Can Wait. And yeah, like I said, they both come with art cards, so we'll show those off first. But yeah, that's the disc itself, and you do also get the original artwork as well to go with it, if you so wish, as you can see there. So yeah, I like both of the artworks, to be honest. I probably will switch it over to the original though, because I do prefer original artwork to new artwork a lot of the time. So yeah, 6 art cards a piece. So yeah, minor spoilers for the films themselves. But yeah, both of these films are pretty damn good, to be honest. Only really this one has a major flaw, which I will get to in a moment. So yeah, they all come with that on the back as well, the new artwork of the film. And finally, so yeah, this one is about Nico Palmieri, who is a police inspector who battles a criminal gang terrorising a sleepy Italian town who extort cash from the local merchants. So Fabio Testi stars as Nico, and yeah, now what ultimately brings this down somewhat in terms of my rating is the fact that it's got 2 scenes of sexual abuse, which don't really add anything to the plot overall and feel overall unnecessary. But thankfully they're only a tiny part of the plot. They come into about a minute in total in terms of the scenes. So yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal, but it does overall sour the taste of the film a little bit. But ultimately, yeah, the rest of this is a great effort. The cast is really good. The action scenes are well executed, while having some stylish moments to them, aided by the cinematography, which is done really well. That is also helped by the new 2K restoration that both of these films have got. It is also well paced, has convincing production and a solid score. So yeah, only really the sexual abuse is a big downer on this film, which is a common factor in other Italian 70s crime films. You see I think it was Rabid Dogs from the Years of Lead collection that also had that issue. So yeah, but yeah, it's something that can't be helped really at the end of the day sometimes. So yeah, that's just the way it goes. And yeah, the next film in the collection is from 1977, and that is The Heroin Busters. Now, this is a little bit more like an American film in some ways, because it's about undercover cops, you know, drug dealers, drug pushers. It's a little bit more world trotting as well in some regards. So there's the original artwork that the disc obviously covers up. So yeah, but still nice enough artwork, new and original. And again, you get art cards. So once again, the new artwork is on the back of each of them, and then these are the ones showing off. So yeah, I think the art cards for this are a little bit better than the previous one, because they've not all got borders around them. This one obviously does. Even so, the border is a little bit more tasteful in this regard, but then again, not all of them do. So yeah, that's Fabio Testi as well, by the way. And there we go. So yeah, Heroin Busters also stars David Hemmings, who we've talked about before in the film Deep Red. He's a Giallo effort. And yeah, this is about drug use in the city of Rome, which is at an all-time high. Children score from dealers in front of their schools. Mules walk straight through airport security. And Interpol's main man, Mike Hamilton, played by David Hemmings, he's at his wit's end. Fed up to the back teeth with the local police force's incompetence, his only hope is to rely on one of his own men, and that is Fabio Testi, who is an officer so deep undercover that no one but Hamilton knows who he really is. So yeah, unlike the Big Racket, this isn't quite as stylish. It's a little bit more rough around the edges in some regards, and it also features less characterization, but also crucially it lacks any scenes of sexual abuse, which makes this a far more enjoyable film to watch, and certainly doesn't leave a sour taste in your mouth after watching it. And the plot is somewhat more engrossing as well. The action scenes are also not as numerous as the Big Racket, but the stunts are more impressive. And yeah, it's also again well paced. The cast as a whole is good. I think David Hemmings lends a bit of extra weight to it alongside Fabio Testi, and they work really well together. The score is by Goblin, which is superb, who also did the score for Deep Red. The production is solid. Its conclusion is more satisfying than the Big Racket, which basically just ends as soon as the bad guys is dealt with. It just finishes, whereas this has a little bit more of a satisfying conclusion. And on the whole, like I said, it's more varied in its locales. You go from Amsterdam to Hong Kong and stuff like that. They're not major scenes in those areas, but you can definitely tell that they are filmed there rather than just a stand-in for the country that it's supposed to be set in. So yeah, overall, I really do like this set. Both films get 4 stars out of 5 as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, like I said, you get a really nice booklet with it as well that has Viva la Muerte, Enzo G. Castellari's The Big Racket by Roberto Curti. Then you have Cops of Two Nations, The Heroin Busters by Barry Forshaw. And then you also have a write-up on the restorations. And yeah, I like the stuff on the interior, especially since it's got a Mustang in it. I think that's in the Heroin Busters, that one. Can't quite remember though, but yeah. The Big Racket definitely, like I said, has some more action scenes going for it. The director's name literally pops up as an explosion happens, so it's a little bit more exciting in that regard. But like I said, the Heroin Busters has the more engrossing plot, doesn't have the sexual abuse, and yeah, the two leads are a bit better, and yeah, David Hemmings, like I said, definitely adds it some weight. So yeah, like I said, they've both had a 2K restoration, and yeah, you can definitely tell that with the Big Racket, because like I said, it's got a real style to it. So especially when it's going slow motion, there's a certain bit in when the cop's car is kicked off a cliff and it rolls down, and there's camera work inside the car with the actor, and it looks really well done. So yeah, but on the whole, I love both of them, to be honest. I wasn't expecting much from them, to be honest, even though I have seen a film from the director before, which I really enjoyed. I wasn't quite expecting this to be as good, either of them to be quite as good, but on the whole, they were. And yeah, it's a little bit expensive. It's, I think, £35, but at the end of the day, you can spend £18 on a single out-of video release. So both of them together for 35 plus the art cards and the booklet and the really rather nice solid box. On the whole, I think makes it worth it. So yeah, if you've not seen either of these films, but you do like your Italian crime films, then I do highly recommend it. And if you've seen stuff from the actors or the director before and you've enjoyed those as well, then again, I would highly recommend it. So yeah, but nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.